Start. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Sideline to Baseline with MB and Klew, and we got a show for you today. My man MB in the building.
What up, baby?
He's so serious. Oh, good gracious.
And Shelly B in the building as well. She got to fix her name one of these days for these folks start calling you that for real. So
Brown sugar. Hey, it's better than that college name, Rump Shaker.
Oh, wow.
Shots fired.
What
name was that?
Can we
from when I cheered? It was
that was a cheer?
Yes.
I thought that was when you was at North Carolina Central.
No.
What was your line name?
Band 2.
Oh, Band 2?
Yeah.
Well, look, hold on. So Dan Snyder looking for you too then.
Don't do that.
Boy, with a name like that, I don't see why he ain't got your video.
You know what?
Shots fired.
You know
Get her, Klew. Get her, Klew.
No, all I'm saying
I'm not even going to entertain
my
that.
man Adam said that's trademark. What's trademark, Adam? The Rump Shaker or what? The Band 2? Which one?
All I'm trying to say is what he was trying to do, allegedly. what I'm reading about, I'm just figuring you might got some video on his at his house.
The devil is a liar. The devil is a whole liar. Okay.
Oh, he say brown sugar's trademark. She got the trademark, Adam. Yeah. Explain what's going on with that, man. Talk about that. Go a little detail.
Well,
see what happened was
what had happened was everybody has heard the whole scandal with the no longer Washington Redskins, was the Washington Football Organization or Washington Football Team with the cheerleaders that came out several years ago about doing having to dress provocatively. They're cheerleader for hire. Nobody said sex was traded, but it insinuated something like that. And so now Daniel Snyder is saying that he needs to take more control. He had no idea. He and his wife sent out information about trying to create a better environment. They went and hired a black GM.
First black president. But before then, they hired a lady to run internal thing.
But one of the main ladies that's involved, whose name keeps popping up, she's still volunteering around there, and she says she unequivocally has no idea what they're talking about.
Right.
Hey, so Julie Donaldson was brought in there to clean up around here with this harassment towards the women around there, Shelly.
Listen, there are too many cheerleaders with the same story for it not to be true.
Yeah.
So talk to us.
When there's smoke, there's usually fire.
Yeah,
you are an expert on this show when it comes to all things cheer. So talk to us about what an cheerleaders' roles in an organization, what they look like, and what they should be, and then versus what we hear about them Washington football team cheerleaders.
Well, see, but here, what you have to realize is that the different cheerleaders in different areas on different teams are different. Now, when we cheered in Carolina, it was called the Bible Belt. And so I was on the inaugural squad. See, things are a lot different now, but we wore one piece. We could not fraternize with the players. So I couldn't even communicate with him.
Oh, we ain't buying into that, man. We already know y'all violating. I remember.
We did.
You said this the Bible Belt.
We did not. But see, now listen. When you went to the Tennessee Titans, they were more of a collegiate. They out there flipping. They got guys. They putting each other on their shoulders. Now, when you get to the Dallas Cowgirl and the Oakland Raider cheerleader,
there it is.
No,
there it is.
It's a job. It's a job.
But talk about this. Talk about this. All right. So talk about like your responsibility, because one of the things that came up, they were saying that the girls, some of the girls, if you weren't on the field game day, some girls was in the in the luxury suite.
So, did
y'all do that?
Every game you have, I think it's 35 cheerleaders, but you have four sides of the field. So there are only, I think, 7 cheerleaders on each side of the field, and so the additional cheerleaders, you go up to the luxury suite,
right?
And you go from suite to suite.
So what was your responsibility?
Your responsibility in the suite was just to say, "Hey, how you doing?" Sign autographs, sign
what
calendars.
Did you have to wear?
You wore your uniform.
Oh, so you wore your uniform.
You wore your uniform.
So drop it low, girl. Drop it low.
Did you have to do a private dance? Hold on. Wait a minute, Klew.
What you got?
Good. Klew, did y'all serve Magic City wings?
I find nothing funny.
Okay, but listen. Hold on. Let's get to the bread and butter.
Let me finish my
Hold on. Did y'all do a photo shoot and y'all have videos? Because that's what they're saying. Y'all did a calendar, right?
We did a calendar.
Okay, so did y'all have like special cameras around there? Did y'all like half naked? I mean, this is what these girls saying. They saying they put a video together, special behind the scene video, right?
Of you getting ready.
Yeah, of you getting ready. Did they do that?
Pay per view.
Yeah.
Not for us, but if you have cameras rolling, that's just like on any fashion show, anything going on, or like when you guys are in the locker rooms and cameras are rolling, anybody can film anything.
Right. So is that how it was? So was it like that with y'all when y'all did y'all photo shoot?
It was not like that, but I'm not saying that doesn't happen other places.
Right.
But that
because that the Cowboys had the whole video. Remember the Cowboy girls? They had their own show and they was going behind the scenes. Yeah. And so that's basically
becoming a Dallas Cowgirl cheerleader.
Okay, what's going on here? Okay.
But yeah, so I mean, what's going on there? They're talking about pay. Can you still see us, Klew?
Yeah, I can see y'all fine. Okay. But I was reading the same thing MB did.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. So they're saying that he wanted to see all the extra clips, and he wanted to make like a montage of clips together.
Yeah,
that's right.
He did that. He did that to even know that there was a montage of clips to be put together.
Well, it's allegedly.
No.
What's going on?
He knows there's some outtake somewhere, and he wanted to see. That's a whole lot of perversion going on. Okay.
Hey, tell us if you guys still see us, hear us, all that stuff, because we're saying on our saying Facebook is having trouble.
Yeah.
And we breaking Facebook with this news.
Klew, do you want to start over or what you want to do? Want me to just set up everything? All right, we'll be right back. Let us fix this right quick.
Oh, wait. They say, Lisa says she sees.
All right, but this is the one site.
Lakeisha says that she can see us as well.
It's not airing on Sideline or Baseline, so you want to just go for it or what?
Can anybody see us?
I
see. That's the one that's tripping, huh?
Yeah.
Ira says you're good.
Hey, Ira, how you doing, buddy? So everybody can see us if they're not on Sideline.
Hey, and that's the problem, y'all hard head. We didn't tell y'all about that last week. Get on Sideline to Baseline, and they ride. Now we see who I need to yell at. Lisa, Carter, boy. You see what I'm saying? All y'all, Ira. See, that's the darn problem, right? All y'all hard headed. Sideline to Baseline so we can just stream to that. And we ain't streaming to 25 different sites. And that's probably what's killing the bandwidth around here.
So anyway, he's trying to clean it up. He's trying.
Was it allegedly? So I mean, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to prove that he had that made because already based on the article, you already got a high level person saying, "Hey, he never approved of that. He never requested that." I'm just saying though, it's hard to prove that.
Like I said, everybody is saying, "Nope, wasn't me. Don't know about it. Didn't do it. Can't." No, because nobody wants to take the fall.
Well,
it happened. It happens.
Well,
like that joke was at Magic City. It's all the same premise. It happens. They want to see some tatas and babas, and that's what it is.
What's tata?
So you mean to tell me Dan Snyder brought Magic City to him. That's what you trying to tell me?
Yeah. He did it. He did it every year.
He had that BRC.
You know what? I bet that he got to see who was making the squad.
Because it's chefs in that prepare all the sweet meals too. So I know the only thing he probably mentioned is what MB mentioned earlier. Them sweet Lou lemon pepper barbecue. If you had that, I ain't even got to go. I can go ahead and watch me a game this year and get the same treatment.
But you see, it's things like that cause cheerleaders not to be respected.
Like what? What you saying?
Because it's all about, what you're trying to see, what you're trying to do. What if you really want to be out there cheering? What if you really have a desire to you like football? Like, you know what I'm saying? But
what? What you mean? What's your point?
Well, because things like this, like he's trying to get the outtakes. It's all about sex,
right.
sex. And we know sex sells. I'm not taking that, but it brings the whole, like, we started out with a full piece. All of a sudden, people complaining, why y'all not looking like this and why y'all not looking like that? So we went to a 2-piece. Well, why y'all don't have the boots and the thighs out like the Cowboys? So they got the boots. And I was just like, what happened to really wanting to cheer for your team? What happened to team spirit? What happened? Why it can't be balanced? Why has it got to be all or one, all or nothing?
Because, like MB said earlier, the Raiders and the Cowboys took it to another level.
Right.
They had a calendar. And y'all have a calendar around there.
No doubt. It's no different, right? When you look at cars, right? What they do, they put a pretty girl. A lot of places put a pretty girl on top of the car. What does she have to do with the car, right?
Yeah.
Right. But it's just attachment. It's no different than when you trying to sell a product, right? You get a professional athlete or you get a celebrity to endorse the product. But that's all it is. It's all about marketing. It's all about eye candy. It's all about.
But it's not all about.
That's what happens.
Do the Steelers? Let's talk about who got Super Bowl rings and who got cheerleaders. The Steelers don't have no cheerleaders. The
Giants don't have. The Giants don't have.
And it's so funny too, because as far as us as a players, I'm sure people think that we have an understanding. But like you just rattled off all the people that do and don't have cheerleaders, Shelly, I believe most NFL guys have no idea that. I don't even see them, MB. I don't even remember seeing them. Hey, obviously MB song.
No. Let me tell you something. Now, being a cheerleader, I can honestly say the players do. They do.
They do what?
They do notice the cheerleaders.
How they notice?
And they do try to holler.
How do they notice the cheerleaders?
Man, they see us during practice. They see us going to our cars. They see us. We do. What are those called? Promotions together. You know what I'm saying? We do. They see you.
Man,
we do stuff together.
I can't tell you who got them and who don't. Besides the Cowboys are the only cheerleaders that I've ever known, but I think you learned that growing up as a kid.
Right.
Yeah, but the Raiderettes, the Raiders.
Yeah. It's some that's more popular, but
absolutely.
But like I said though, but based on what he's trying to do, he's trying to give them a full service. He's trying to do business. That's what you call it. That's the thing. The Washington football team, as they now call it. I mean, this has been a bad all season.
That's their culture, but was their culture.
But
they had a culture of sex.
Well, but listen though. So they have had like sexual harassment.
Let them know, Lisa.
They have had some stuff with the cheerleaders.
Right.
Then on top of that, then now they had when everything went down about the racial equalities. Then now they attacking the name, so they changed the name, rightfully so. So right now they're on damage control. They're trying to fix their image.
I gotta be honest with you now. It's red alert. Cold 22 man down on Dan Snyder. I think it's about to be some whispers about maybe trying to get this team away from him. I think it's gotten to that realm now where it may be too far gone. for him to do enough damage control. Now you look at the hire about Julie Donaldson. I know you spoke about it earlier. You got to believe that was damage control. And then to go out and hire the first black president. We wish it was because of our show, Black Mobility. Hopefully he saw our show and did it. However, MB, when we look at it, I mean, you brought this guy. Yeah, he was a former NFL player, but he was in business outside of the NFL. And you had a Hall of Fame type executive in Doug Williams,
right,
sitting there who didn't have anything to do with all that foolishness is going on, and you don't move him up. That seems like more damage control to me. It doesn't seem like it was really a situation where you felt like, it felt like, oh, Black Lives Matter, let's get him in here. Maybe this a derail or take off some of this bad publicity and and give us some praise. And then this story blows out. That happened last week, right? Or the week before. And then right behind it is another story that, really rekindles what you brought to my attention, that this story had been out.
Yeah.
And now it's getting confirmation,
Yeah, I mean, this story been out but before it didn't include Daniel Snyder. And then now finally today, allegedly, or this week, allegedly, it's saying that he was involved. They created this basically this borderline sex tape in some regards, right? Behind the scene tape with what you call them again?
Tatas and babas.
Tatas and babas. And babas, right? Boom booms, right?
You got two cheeks. So
tatas and babas. You know what I'm saying? That allegedly that was made for his watching pleasure, right? And so now they're trying to connect them with it, because I remember early in the offseason, even what's her name? Mark Cuban was like, Cuban was trying to challenge him and say, hey, Dan Snyder, this is what you need to do, because I just went through this a few years ago. He was trying to walk him through it, and it seemed like Dan Snyder took heed and listened to what he's saying and is trying to put stuff in place, all right, to help clean up the image. But now it just seemed like, you say, more dirt is being thrown on him. And I don't know, like you said, I don't know if he's going to survive this. I think he will. I think he will, just because his hands ain't get caught in the cookie jar yet. It's been allegedly. I think he would, though. I think he's going to survive. Now he's got a long road to recover.
I think now is definitely another investigation, if there hasn't already been one, that's about to go back and double back on this. And I think Roger Goodell them have to make this investigation happen. And if that does happen and more stories come out about him being a part of it, the difference between Mark Cuban's situation and his is we never heard Mark Cuban's name.
Yeah.
He just jumped down in front and said, this is on me based upon I'm the head of this.
No doubt.
We never heard his name come out. Now we've heard a name. And I just don't feel like this is the climate to be making mistakes like that. So I think Roger Goodell has to investigate. If this investigation pops up 2 or 3 more people that can corroborate that story, I think it's a wrap. Just from the court of public opinion, it's a wrap.
Yeah, no doubt. I definitely agree with what you're saying. And I think, Klew, moving on to what you're talking about, where you mentioned about Roger Goodell, and I saw a video today saying how he said, man, we should have listened to Cap.
Yeah.
And one thing that people are definitely listening to, right, is what the Milwaukee Bucks started today, as far as they was like, man, we're protesting, we're not playing a game. And the NBA, right, that's who they need to listen to, the commissioner of the NBA, because what he did was, you know what, we're postponing all game 5s today. And so that was a big move by them based on what happened to Jacob Blake, as far as that scenario, man, that these NBA players, man, they're making their voice heard. And Milwaukee, because initially heading to the show, it was talks about Toronto or Boston Celtics sitting out. But Milwaukee was like, let me put one up. This is our own backyard. And this is what we talked about, what our concern was of heading into the bubble, that we didn't want this to be drowned out by us playing. And I love the fact, their actions speak so loud that we can't hear what they're saying. Their action is speaking loud by them saying, you know what, Game 5 playoffs, forget playoff. There's something bigger than playoff that's going on right now, and that we want the world to. We're not going to be the antidote for you to brush this by. We're calling a timeout so we can address this issue. And I think it's awesome, for them to do that, because my initial thought is, I was like, well, by them sending out, what impact is it going to have? And you saw instantly, I put my foot in my instantly, you saw the NBA say, all right, we cancel all Game 5. So now it's going to put some impact on the politicians. It's going to put some impact, because when you think about Milwaukee, right, you think about the state of Wisconsin, you think about Milwaukee, right? Sports is big for them. Green Bay Packers, and now based on what Milwaukee Bucks has been doing, and then also the Freak just recently being the fifth player ever to win MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. Yeah. All eyes on them, and I commend them. They're taking the spotlight off of them and putting it on back on the situation. I love it, man. I absolutely love what's going on.
So I'll throw my 2 cents in. First of all eyes ain't on the Milwaukee Bucks.
Come on, man. In Milwaukee. I'm talking about in Milwaukee, man.
Oh, okay. Okay. First of all,
Milwaukee. They're taking the lead, baby.
It's only eyes set for one place if you're talking basketball. That's out of LA. So
there you go.
I just wanted to, before I even went to that, I definitely wanted to straighten that. I thought that's what I heard. You cleaned it up.
State of Wisconsin, man.
You cleaned it up. I'm sorry. I apologize. But you're absolutely right. You got to look at Milwaukee, and actually, you guys, this was put out there yesterday.
Right.
That a lot of people thought, and immediately kind of started putting up Milwaukee under pressure to do something, because Chris Paul said yesterday, look, I don't think I'm gonna play. What I mean? Like Chris Paul was already on that, and then with Milwaukee having the first game as well, so it was kind of like a perfect storm. Not only is it their city, or not necessarily their city, because I'm not sure where in Wisconsin the shooting happened.
I think I forgot Kenosha. I forgot how far it is from Milwaukee, but it's close. It's close enough.
Enough. What did they say, about an hour and a half?
Yeah, I forgot exactly.
But it's close enough.
Yeah.
Right. But like MB said, focus is on that area, and them having the first game. And let me tell you something about these Orlando Magic, boy. They just clueless right here. They showed up anyway. They was ready to play.
Right. Somebody tapped on talking about come on. Yeah. Come back to the locker room.
All it is pictures and video of them looking around like, what happened?
Right. They missed the memo, man.
They just wanted to be there. They was just happy to be there. They missed the
memo.
They started asking, do we get this win?
No, come on, Kayla.
They started asking that, man. They leaving it. Just have no clue. And so, the Magic, obviously can't play. The NBA, MB obviously is going to shut down. The guys are going to refuse to play. And I think, like you said earlier, this is what the fear was going into the bubble. Now they said we have an opportunity to stand hand in hand with the community. And that's what they're doing. They're saying we won't play. We're not going to play. We won't stand for it.
And you know what, Klew, when you think about it, because initially some people, just stay, just continue to play sports. What do you have to do? You're like, no, right now, the celebrities, the athletes, right? That's the biggest voice that we have right now. Because our president is not speaking up for us. Mm-hmm. He's not fighting for black people. He's not fighting for what's going on. Everybody else downplaying it. So right now, the athletes, the entertainers, the stars, the people that the fans support, now the athletes and celebrities are now using their voice to be heard, to make a difference, and it's so needed right now,
And Shelly, just like you've been getting on us football guys, we didn't show up again. The Detroit Lions took off a day from practice and just got on their soapbox. But what the Green Bay Packers doing?
Right.
Ain't that's where y'all at?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? So it goes back to you, Shelly, and what
ain't that where
you talk bad about us, not trying to protect us.
But wait, you said ain't that where y'all at? Who
the
at?
Packers.
The Packers. Green Bay.
Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Oh, he said ain't that where y'all at? I'm in Ohio.
No, I didn't mean that. Yeah,
what? I know Packer fan.
No, Shelly. I'm talking about that's their state as well.
Oh,
and you would think it would be coming from Detroit. You think it'd be coming from their hometown. You know,
absolutely, absolutely. But here's my take on it. Now the players are saying they're not going to play. Detroit did not do practice today. So is that going to trickle up to the owner? Because we need to talk about who has the power to move the politicians to talk to the people to say, come on, what we doing to put some pressure on the police? Who is the chain of command going?
Well, again, and I hate to be so political, but you know my ears are always to the ground just from a knowledge standpoint. But the governor of Wisconsin tried to put a bill in place way before now to curb this and try to put some responsibility on the police officers that are just shooting. You know, I don't want to get into Democrats and Republicans, but one side decided, no, we don't want to do that.
Okay, so let's be clear.
And now they're here. So it's not necessarily a national, and when I say national, federal problem. Yeah, you know, our president can kind of speak words and stuff like this, but this is a state thing, and it has to be done because you got to remember, most things that are done in each individual state are done by the state, not federal. And so people forget so much that a president can kind of set the tone, but he really don't run it.
He doesn't, and it goes back to where we are. You got to vote on those local elections,
right?
You know what I'm saying? But because y'all are really pushing the players taking a stand. Okay, so if they don't play, then what?
Well, but I'm just saying though,
no. Because you want action, you want things to happen immediately,
right?
I don't.
So your point is what?
I don't think that because I don't know
your point is what.
My point is what's going to happen.
No.
Like what is going to happen if the needle isn't being pushed forward on the state level? Like they're talking about, they want immediate action right now.
Right.
I don't think immediate action is going to happen.
I disagree. I think at this point we need all hands on deck. You don't know what's going to be the straw that breaks the camel back. You don't know what's going to. I would have hoped. But no, I'm just saying.
How many black men have died?
Well, I know, but that's the thing. But you need all hands on deck. Everybody needs to do their part because you don't know what's that one thing that's going to do that's going to put it over the edge. That's going to make a difference. You don't know the one thing right now for argument's sake, by Milwaukee saying, hey, we're not going to play. Well, the governor could be a big Milwaukee Bucks fan, be like, you know what? I need action. Or somebody you know what? We got to get this thing done, right? Anything can happen. At this point, you got all hands on deck. Everybody's got a role to play. Everybody's affected by it, right? And so we all can do our part because you can't discount and say, well, this need to be done. No, everything need to be done. Everybody needs it. This is American problem. Like you said, it's just not a federal problem, just not a state, but it affects everybody on every different level, and everybody need to be aware and wake up to this.
It's a heart problem.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm done. It's a heart problem.
Yeah.
And not playing cannot change the hate in someone's heart.
No doubt. What's up? But it all helps, but if you got to do something.
Absolutely.
And even if you affect, right?
You do have
to the world, you may be one person, but to that one person, you could be the world. And somebody can make a difference. It got to start somewhere. You're right. And you can't discount at this point. I
just want to get beyond boycotting.
But all that helps.
It does help, but I want us to go.
Yes, no doubt. I agree.
Okay,
I agree.
What's next?
We got to make change, but this right here, we got to keep making noise because Nobody's gonna willingly just say, okay, we're gonna change. No,
hey,
we gotta make change.
Hey, we got a little Shelley Carmichael around here, a little Stokely in the building. Say she ain't sitting down no more. Hey, lock her up, LB. Don't let her out the house tonight, bro.
Quiet, Klew.
Ain't no start done, won't be done.
I guess she wants real change. We all want real change.
Remember, LB, she a mama bear. She got three black cubs in the building back there. So this is
I got a black bear right here that like to go riding that night. I said, yo, we need you to come home.
Yeah. Right.
You know, this is a serious issue that a lot of people you just don't understand. Like Doc Rivers was saying.
Oh yeah, Doc was so powerful. He was
so good, but he
said,
my
God, Doc was so powerful.
But he was saying, you know, how many white men have to have their conversation with their kids if you get stopped by a cop? Or how many people have to say, let me tell you how, just make it home. Just get home.
Yeah, Doc was so powerful. Doc was like, look, I'm talking, my dad was a cop, and I believe in some good cops. I don't think we should defund the police department, but we need some change. We need, this is a problem, and we need, like she was saying, we need some effective change. So that's what I'm saying. We got to keep crying loud and spare not. We got to keep voicing our opinions until we get change. We got to keep right here. It made me thought about this quote earlier today, Klew. A belief is something you will argue about. A conviction is something you would die for. And when I listen to those basketball players and listen to people throughout, man, they sick and tired of being sick and tired. Just like Shelley was saying, they want to see real change, and they're willing to put their careers, they're willing to make a sacrifice to see stuff get done. You know.
Wow, Carter boy say boycott and protests are not the answer. We must be a part for the future and change or ways of thinking. So Carter, you're gonna have to tell us what we need to do.
Yeah, boycott and protest are not the answer.
Said no protest and no boycott, but what we need to do. Because here's the thing: what you got to remember, you're in a capitalistic society. I hate to
absolutely.
Yeah.
I was just about to say.
And at the end of the day, boycotting works.
Yeah, no doubt.
Affects the bottom line.
No doubt.
So let's not trip. But I do get other things need to be happening. But I always argue this point. When everybody has the right answer, there is never been in our civil rights history of the, movement wise, where there was one right answer.
True.
There were always different people and groups and organizations that were attacking their niche. So we had a political arm, and then we had a judicial arm, where there were attorneys and stuff.
Exactly. All hands on deck.
Then there were boycotts. Like there were all, and then you had the folks that said, "Look here, I don't see none of this working.
Right,
so pull my pistol out and we're gonna courtroom and figure it out this way too." And so MB will tell you we've had conversations here and there, and I'm never quick to poo-poo on anything that someone's doing, because I always see it as that's needed as well.
No doubt.
That's like what Lisa just said. She said, but it is still okay to agree to disagree with different options.
Right.
That's what you said.
And that's why I'm saying we need all hands on deck. And we can't, right now, all that stuff goes.
I didn't say it was wrong. I said we just got to keep going beyond it.
Right. All that stuff going to big gumbo, Klew, and you don't know what is the thing that's going to push it over the top,
Well, history again is our best teacher, and when you go back, you can actually see where different things started, different other things. Because just like the George Floyd thing, to me and MB, I made this connection, right? Reminded us, and oh my gosh, just lost my train of thought. But reminded us, can't think of the name. I talked about it on the show that night. But brought me back to the civil rights movement, Emmett Till, where Emmett Till's picture was published in a newspaper. And it was like, wow. And then the whole world stopped. You know what I mean? And that's
like,
what
George is this really happening.
Yes, yes.
All of a sudden, people harp on, well, why are they looting? Why are they tearing up stuff? Well, it kind of woke people up. Like, hold on now. We better do something around here, or our country is going to implode. So, because the easy answer is, yeah, sure, let's go send out more police to attack that situation. But at the same time, all you're doing is that powder keg is blowing, and then it really explodes. So I just think, there are different things that work and different things actually piggyback each other. And then, it's just like a play, MB. When you design a play defensively or offensively, if MB don't do his job, I can't do mine.
Exactly.
And so that's how I look at it. Same.
Right. When you talk about real change, man, everybody's got a responsibility. Just like you, obviously you're a history buff. And so, I mean, that's the thing you major in. And just like, like Dr. King, I know a lot, rightfully so, a lot of stuff, we put him as a poster child, but it's some things behind the scenes, the Black Power, the different people that did different things, that sacrificed to Tommy Smith raising his fist up in the air. All that went into it to make change. All that played a role. Exactly. You can't discount any of that. All of that went into it, right? And all of that matters. And you can't say, well, you can't put your finger and say, well, this is the one thing. No, it could be the turning point that happened, but you can't say, oh, this is the one thing that happened. Everybody believe what they believe, and you got to go that route to affect change based on that. And like you said, it's just like running the play, it all work together, man.
That's awesome. And I was thinking when you were saying that the Black Panther, Shelley Black Panther Party and the Nation of Islam, every single thing, plays a role.
Right. Well, you know what? Hey, Lou. And one thing that worked together to me that takes a team effort, but usually like one person get all the credit, is in baseball, my man Lucas, right? Lucas, a.k.a. Luke Skywalker, Fill the Forest, right? Chicago White Sox threw the first no-hitter, all right, the other day, man. And it took the team effort, because even he said that last pitch he threw, I mean, that guy made an unbelievable catch and was able to secure the non-hitter. But, man, this guy is, 26, 27 years old, only been in the league 2 years, and was able to put together a no-hitter, man, in the baseball. And that definitely took a team effort. So that was amazing. Well, my man, Klew. Are we talking about baseball? He dipped on us, huh? But for you Chicago White Sox fans, right? You a Chicago White Sox fan?
No, I'm just giving.
Oh, you just cheerleading.
I'm cheerleading.
It's in your blood. You can't help it, huh? I heard the Washington football team looking for some cheerleading.
I was about to say something real. I was about to say, go ask your auntie to be a cheerleader.
You gonna say that's my mama. You ain't right.
I can't do that.
But no, so my man Klew, he was Klew. We thought you left because it was baseball, man.
I know you was dogging me. I don't know what.
Because we want to talk about the Lakers. Because you want to talk about the Lakers.
Hold on.
You know I'm gonna get back to that. I can't. You know what I'm saying?
What you got to say about the Lakers?
Now let's show this man some love with some no-hitter, man. First.
Yeah, stay with baseball, but we coming back.
But no, my man Luke, man, Fill the Forest, Skywalker, man. Right. Real no-hitter, man.
He deserves a hand. We
no
can't
doubt.
throw no Gatorade, but we can get a man a hand.
They gave him a great Gatorade bash afterwards, man. He was so excited, man, because this is one of the things where it came out of nowhere. I mean, a guy like that, man, I mean, like I say, he been in the league 2 years, was able to get that done, man. That's a phenomenal feat. Obviously, the attention goes on him, but like he said in his interview, Klew, it was all about the team effort, man. He had great support on the defense, and then obviously, they had
them last 2 outs. And that ninth inning could have just destroyed everything, but they came through.
And he got it done, man. So that was great. And then also, man, talking about baseball league.
Hold on. Let me show my ignorance. Let me show my ignorance real quick so they understand why I don't say much. I never understood how that's a such thing as a no-hitter, and I be seeing people hit. Now, I understand that it's a no-hitter because, they threw him out. But I'm like, he hit the ball. I want to see a real no-hitter. Don't nobody hit the ball. It is. So that's my ignorance.
Don't pour water on the fire.
No, I'm saying everybody. I ain't calling him out.
Right.
Nah, it's a great feat, man, to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And man, I mean, to do it on any level. All right, it's a great feat to get that done. But then also let's transition to this. I mean, we haven't shown baseball a lot of love, but really just talking about it. We talked about baseball and how they started and they came up with the 60-game season. And then and obviously going on, they had a lot of speed bumps along the way. My Miami Marlins, right, got infected and they had to postpone some games. They threw
the whole thing out of whack.
The Cardinals did the same thing. So right now they're in jeopardy of can they really finish the season because they keep pushing it back. But at some point, right,
they're going to be playing. They're going to end next April.
Right, exactly, right? Because right now you got to transition to the playoffs. When
Ohio State start playing.
Oh, there
you go. You shots fired on your own people. On her own people.
My sister finna start typing just
But that's the thing right now, right? They're having, and like Adam said, they're basically a non-contact sport that's getting affected, right? So can they finish their season? But then it transitioned to the NFL. Can the NFL finish theirs? Can they even start their season, right? Because they had the little false positive that came out of the New Jersey clinic, right?
That sounds so shady.
But
that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm gonna say about that. That's all I'm gonna say.
No, talk about that. I'm just trying to say, like, if baseball is struggling to play their game and there's less contact in the NFL, what is there to say about the NFL? Are they just delusional?
Are we delusional?
Yes, definitely. And they're delusional to the point where they look. How many games baseball play every year? 280. Seriously, it'll be 200 games, 182. 180 games. How many?
I think it's 83 game season.
Oh, really? For baseball, period? That sounds low.
No, that's not right. That sounds
low.
It's a 100. Yeah, I forgot the exact total.
It's 82 for basketball.
Yeah, I'm thinking basketball. I apologize.
Right, it's 82. So it's a huge season, and they were smart enough to say, you know what, 60. Remember, my argument with the NFL is this is, not going to happen the way they think it's going to happen, and they didn't even cut one game. They're not cutting games. You got to cut games. This just ain't.
Right.
Yeah, they're delusional.
Hey, Klew, one thing I saw about
baseball. They said they did cut. They cut preseason.
Yeah, and they cut games. And Klew, one thing also. They cut. Hey, yeah, you're right. They was trying to cut that even before the virus. They was trying to.
The players never wanted that.
Game and play more regular season games, right?
But see, you know what players that was? The MBs, first, second rounders around there talking about we don't want to play preseason.
Right.
I was like, we need 3 more preseason games. I needed 3 more looks.
Exactly.
I'm still trying to figure out how I made it. I needed 3 more games.
but guys, but check this out with baseball. One thing they are considering doing because of what's going on, they're still in a page out of NBA where they're talking about going to a bubble style for the playoffs. They actually talk. I know hockey is doing that, right? They're doing a bubble format, but they're doing there in Canada, right? I mean, they double down. They was like, we're doing it in Canada. It's less cases up there. They're doing a bubble. I mean, they're doing all that, but the baseball is Major League Baseball is thinking about transitioning for the playoffs, right? Because now they woke up
not going to Florida
to go ahead and do a bubble style for the playoff team. So I think that'll be great.
So now they think, they thinking with their real brains. I mean, This is dumb. We've seen it work. We're seeing it work in the WNBA. We're seeing it work in soccer. How come you feel like you can do it differently? No, fans, it's done this year.
Right.
It's over with. So you know the Jerry Jones of the world. Who are you kidding? Yeah. College football, you know, it's over. Like it's not gonna happen.
Buckeyes.
They throwing kids out of school now because they still having parties. We had this conversation. I say 18, 19, 20, 21-year-olds, man, they don't care nothing about this. They doing what they do.
Ohio State just suspended students for partying. They had so many that tested positive, so they trying.
What you think? They gonna stop? They ain't stopping.
They not.
Hey, you know how many underground fraternities and sororities was around there, kicked off the school and still having lines wide open around there, you know, underground. So that's all they gonna do. They don't know nothing about that. Don't know nothing about that. Hey, they're riding the underground like crazy. Yeah, so I just feel like, you know, this is crazy for these people to think that they can play a season. And even here locally, MB. So now in Orange County, you know, I'm in Florida, you guys, and in Orange County is Orlando area. They've decided now that the kids, they're still playing the football season.
Right.
But up here too.
But what they're saying is the kids only get 2 tickets. That's it. So the 2 tickets per child, and them the only fans gonna be at the game.
That ain't the problem. The problem is on the field.
Right.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, as far as like even the fans, even at this lower level, they making more sense than the NFL, is all I'm saying. And college, they all trying to say, man, we can do this. we can social distance and have 30,000 or 60,000 in the state.
Wait, did you see Ogeron a couple weeks ago when he said, "Oh, we're gonna have football and we're gonna have fans"? He said at least half. The reporter was like 50,000 people. He said,
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's like they delusional, and like I said, unless you Dabo Swinney and I can't think of the defensive coordinator down there that also got his
Brent Venable at Clemson.
Yeah, Venable. Who go playing with their kids on the field and don't talk to me. Because unless you suiting up with your child on the field, then hey, you gonna sue him up? Hey, we believe in you, man. Yeah. You really about that life.
Yeah. Like Klew, like we brought up before, man. The only way you possibly can make this happen, you got to go to a bubble format.
Oh yeah.
You have to go to a bubble format. If you give these kids or players, it don't matter, because we saw it, you just can't say college kids, because we saw the NFL, the dude trying to be Inspector Gadget, right? Trying to sneak a girl in, you know? So you saw, man, if you don't lock this thing down and go to a bubble format, you're fooling yourself, because these kids going to get out and do what they need to do. They're going to sneak to Magic City. They're going to sneak where they need to go. And they're going to put themselves in position. And then now what you're going to have, I'm telling you, what you're going to have, God forbid, is going to be somebody's going to become a martyr. God forbid, somebody lose their life. And then you're going to be like, is it worth it? You know? And fortunately, that's what's going to happen right now, to wake them up to the severity or the seriousness of this, because it's been documented now that when you test positive coronavirus and stuff like that, the one player from Indiana has now have battling a heart issue. Yeah. So it's other complications that's coming from this that you just can't afford to take that risk, especially if you got a lot of older coaches on the staff. You know, their health risks have increased.
Right.
And so it's just not good. And then, Klew, when I look back, you see, like, when these schools, these players was reporting back, man, just a high number of positive testing that was a result of it. And these guys are fine-tuned athletes. And if they can get it, how about you and me, who's on couch potatoes, or people who are working out and doing all the stuff they need to do? Man, we're even more of a prime candidate to get it. If they can get it, man, we can get it.
Well, I just want to touch real quick on, you talked about the bubble. The only way they can do is they go to a bubble. But I still think that there will be an issue with the NFL in a bubble just because of the amount of people. Now, if you go to a bubble, you definitely have to decrease your size.
See, Klew, she didn't watch our show. Because me and
no,
you already
told me about the 7-on-7.
No, we ain't say that. That was part of
like that.
No, we have different bubbles set up throughout. No.
Too many people in the NFL. It is. It's just
we
too
can
many.
make it happen.
It's
NFL, listen.
And they're not trying to spend money like baseball and basketball.
No. First of all, NFL is trying to spend some money to get this thing done.
Well, then let me see. Okay, once it's done, then come holler at me.
That's what
money.
Once it's done,
and they got the most money, Shelly.
But then they should have started out. They should have started out like that, then.
Started what?
They should have started out knowing everything going on, seeing the NBA doing it, seeing it successful. Then let's go ahead and start trying it that way from the beginning instead of letting there be issues. Then we try to change up at the end.
See, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a lawyer, but I gotta investigate this. I think the NFL has got a good faith clause where by good faith, they doing everything they can to try to make this happen based on the rules that's already in place. I don't know. I think that something's going on. But
I can just tell you how we're seeing with our country and how we've seen, individually, whether it's your job or your team or anything, leadership is so important.
Yeah, no doubt.
Not put enough, emphasize that anymore. And I think you just see a great leader in Adam Silver, who looked at this for what it was, believed it, and acted accordingly. And then you got all these other people that just feel like, oh, not us, it won't happen to me. Right. And we just gonna go full speed ahead like this ain't really going on in our world. So I mean, it's really silly, but I think leadership is the number one reason for why you're gonna see success in the NBA and failure pretty much everywhere else.
All right, and Klew, you so right, man. Speaking of failure, oh my God. We got to change the subject. I'm hurt, but my girl Serena lost last night. Serena Williams, man. Is this the end for Serena? Is it time for her to retire?
Yeah, I think.
What's your thoughts on that, because I know you got your daughter play tennis and all that, so I'm giving you this layup.
We got to figure, man. These two girls done pretty much dominated tennis for 20 years, and I don't think people are looking at it like that. Like that's how long they've dominated tennis. So the sad part is where are all the other Americans? That's the sad part. So the fact. I think it says more about her that we're still, her greatness, that we're still even speaking of her instead of speaking about all the other up and comers who have shown flashes but can't hold on to it. So yeah, she's on a decline. Tennis ain't boarding school. Tennis ain't no sport where you can sit there and just watch the ball. So, as she continues to play and motherhood and listen.
Come on, go back. Say that again.
Yeah, motherhood. Priority.
Her priority. They should.
Yeah, and it's just
they be having playtime.
It's just different.
She won't stay at the hotel. She got a house because she got to have her baby there. They got to bake some cookies. They got that little doll. Serena said, "I'm gonna practice later." Okay,
and that's really what time it is. And I just think, she's on her downward climb and she'll win here and there as well. But I mean, she's already proved she's the greatest to ever pick up one. And I think that's male or female. She's the greatest to ever pick up one.
No doubt.
And I think, we need to go ahead and start celebrating her now, because I don't think she's going to be one of those ones that gives us a victory tour. Serena is going to say deuces and just walk off, drop the mic.
Hey, she may be like my boy, even though he came back, Marshawn Lynch. He said the thing with cleats on top of a light pole or something like that when he left, And
he didn't do the whole LA thing, tied his shoestrings together, threw it over the
that's what he did.
The power line.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he did. He did that. He did the
hood thing right there. We ride through the hood. And this one, I know I got to get my kids to the hood more often, because I'm slacking. I need that in their life, especially my son. But I need it in their life, because we were riding and my daughter said, "Daddy, why are there shoes on the power line? Oh man, you ain't never seen that. I gotta get you back. I'm slacking right here. I ain't ending this show without what my haters.
Go ahead.
Hold on. But before we transition, we gotta talk about who will replace Klew. We'll get back to your Lakers. Who you think
I've been patient.
Who you think is going to replace Serena? Do you think Coco,
LeBron James, and Anthony Davis? I'm gonna put wigs on both of them. They're gonna play double and win everything. LeBron.
All right, come on, man. I think you want to go talk. Come on, talk about your Lakers, man.
First of all, talk about the injuries for Portland.
Yeah, exactly.
Talk about the injuries first, okay?
Because he's out. He was out. He was going to miss this game.
No. Stop it. We beat him. And then he's listed out for what was supposed to be tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so we already up 3-1 by the time he's not playing. So don't hand me that, Shelly. Okay. I gave him 6 games, and it looks like that was 1 too many.
Yeah,
okay?
Exactly.
But I'm with you, Shelly. The reason why we're gonna win in 5 is because Dame's out. So I'm with you with 5, but we's gonna get him in 6 regardless. Now, the opponents who everybody talking about, because everybody looking through. Man, listen. OKC, Houston. Let's talk about them. They're tied up now. MB, I told you this was gonna be a nail biter all the way to the end, and I got OKC pulling it out. That's who we would meet next. OKC. That's a sweep. Pull your broom out.
Yeah.
Okay. Pull your broom out, because that's a sweep. And then here on the sad thing.
No, I don't think it's a sweep.
I don't think it's a sweep either.
Yeah. Hey, look, man. I'm gonna go through. If you want to go through all my picks, I'm only struggling in one area. I'm gonna just tell you, like,
me too. Well, hold on. I'm good too. I'm undefeated.
Wait. With the games too, like calling the games, meaning
no,
what?
I'm talking about as far as the series, I'm undefeated. Only thing I said that was going to be close was the Heat versus Indiana.
And how'd that work out?
That was the only one.
I told you what was going to happen.
He wrong. He a Miami boy. You wrong.
No, I said that. I said Miami was going to win.
Thought they win.
I said the Heat was going to win. I thought it was going to be a better game.
He thought they'd go 7.
I thought it was going to be.
I ain't stutter. I know what you said.
Okay.
Yeah, he felt that's still a win though, Shelly. He
said I shouldn't even play it close like that.
He shouldn't have played that close.
No, he using his little basketball expertise. I think he's seeing who got it together over here when it comes to basketball. Because I told him there was no chance for them to win a game. And did you see, MB? 2 out of those 4 games went down to the wire, and Miami was down. What I tell you, do not let them boys be within 6-7 points.
Yeah, they got a lot of heart, man.
Yeah, they gonna flip. And man, they creating stars right now. Johnson and Hero. Oh my gosh, lights out from the 3-point line. Yeah. And so I love what they doing. They swept, took care of business. Denver struggling for me, but we still hanging in there. I thought this thing be flipped the other way around.
Well, hey, but that game last night though, I mean, Denver was on make it or break it game. Go play, win or go home.
Right.
And bro, I'm telling you,
right.
That Murray,
Murray.
I mean, I love some Mitchell from Utah, but that Murray, that boy came ready to play. And then at the end, Mitchell was trying to guard him. He did a Michael Jordan on him. Boom. He pushed him and hit that jumper and say, "You can't guard me, baby."
And he can't. He
said it. And then you know what happened? Mitchell, I thought I'd never seen it. He went to somebody else.
And here go the crazy part. You talking about Murray. You speaking about Jamal Murray? Do you know Mitchell hit 50 the other night, right?
Yeah, I mean, Mitchell hit like 50 this a couple times in the series.
But the other night he hit 50, right?
Right.
Jamal hit 50 as well in a loss.
Exactly.
Just so you know, he been nipping at them heels the entire time. This ain't been just a Mitchell show. But listen, I was a little bit overzealous. I was a year early. Denver still my team for the future. I'm scared. I'm so scared for my Lakers moving forward in the future.
Well, you know what, Klew, what's happening? This is good for them, whether they win the series or not, because they're growing up. They're growing up. They've been to the fire. They're growing up, and they get baptized because this is a great game, man. This is a great series, and this the other series I said was going to be good. But, I mean, Murray stepped up to the plate last night and got it done, man. And, I mean, he got it done. That boy.
Here goes some foolishness, MB.
What's that?
So, I read down there, Adam said I got well on the Pacers, right? You know, do you know Nate McMillan got fired today? That trash organization fired Nate McMillan.
Yeah.
After he took a bunch of nobodies.
Right.
He even got one star on that team.
Well, the one star that was on that team was hurt. He tore his quad tendon.
Who is that?
He was recovered from injury. The African dude. What's the
Depot?
Yes, he
was playing, but he's not a star.
But he was hurt last year. He used that type of injury when you have a tendon tear like that.
He was playing. Victor played, and I'm just saying this: you take a coach that took a bunch of nobodies,
right,
and made a playoff run, and you fire him.
Yeah.
Watch they go in the toilet.
Yeah.
Nobody's going there. So unless you hit jackpot in the draft 3 years from now, because ain't no players this year or next year. So unless you hit the draft 3 years from now, you finna be in the toilet bowl.
Yeah.
From now, but you had a coach making you relevant still.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so that's amazing to me how they make a change like that. So that is a
no doubt. No doubt. I agree.
That's not it. So them Clippers though, where your Clippers fans at? Man, I hear so much noise about these Clippers, MB.
Bro, listen. Hey, they showed up last night, man. And your boy who's off his limited minutes, Kawhi Leonard, he's leading the charge. And then last night, Paul George was able to come out his slump, and he got going last night. They put that thing on Dallas last night.
Hey, I'm searching for the text that I got that said the other night when they lost again with a handicap. You talking about injuries, Shelley. Now Dallas is injured.
Yeah. The unicorn is out.
They are.
And
hey, look at this. The Orlando PD, the Orlando Police Department are looking for Paul George, also known as Playoff P, for stealing $33 million from the LA Clippers, considered armed but can't shoot. That what was sent to my phone by another Laker.
That is right.
I know
Pack Jam.
He'll be Shelley, armed but can't shoot. So he ain't dangerous.
Hey, Lou, last night, man, you got to give him credit, man. He stepped up. He came out of slump, and he showed up last night.
He got tired of walking.
Hey, I hope. See, now my thing is, I thought they were going to make the Western Conference Finals. That's kind of shaky to me now. I don't know. I'm not for certain about that. But I really want to see them because we going to get them in 6.
Well, you know what?
We going to get them in 6.
Hey, Klew, and like we talked about earlier, right? We talked about how they've been having a lot of injuries. They haven't had a full team yet, pretty much the whole year. Before COVID, after COVID, the most time they spent together when they spent it on their own, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Eating wings, you know what I'm saying?
Well, when your superstar on your team get to take days off and play when they want to play, that's what kind of team you get. And MB, like we talked about before, this ain't no light switch where you just turn on and turn off. There has to be continuity. There has to be some semblance of I know what Shelley gonna do, so I can play off her.
Yeah,
I can't play off her right now.
And Klew, one thing that really surprised me when I watched the game. Now, Luka, you talking about star, one of the stars of this playoff. I mean, Luka has taken it to a whole new level. Then last night, even with the unicorn being out, Luka playing on one leg. Right. He's still what you say? He's a problem, right?
Right. Yes,
that was a problem for them last night, right? And that's the thing, though, right? And I don't know, when you talk about missing pieces, one guy that's on the sideline that's getting a lot of attention is not even playing is Patrick Beverly. And I was really shocked how poor the Clippers defense was.
Hey, look, man, that's a fallacy. And I told you they were going to get exposed because, again, MB, I was trying to talk to you and Shelly before, telling y'all, and you know this, MB, defense, you need to depend on guys. And if you out for 3 weeks, MB, I'll come back. And you come back, then I'm out for 2 weeks, and then we show up to the playoffs together. That's not the look we looking for. Because we got to spend more time together getting in sync. Defensively, you really need each other. Offense is a little bit.
I mean, it's the fact that this is the
superstar, Shelly. It is somebody.
It's nobody's fault.
Kawhi Leonard, Shelly. I'm with you.
No,
you can't allow that. You can't allow that. You cannot
Kawhi Leonard. Say his name, Shelly.
Yeah, Kawhi Leonard.
But it's just like Kawhi Leonard.
You can't do that.
But it's just not Kawhi Leonard.
You can't do that.
It's
Kawhi Leonard. I'm with you.
It's not just Kawhi.
You gotta listen to MB.
Go ahead, finish your thought.
You cannot do that. They're supposed to be leaders. Attitude reflects leadership.
Yeah,
that's
you
right.
Can't do that. You got to be able to have chemistry. You got to be able to communicate. How we communicating and you've been gone for 3 weeks.
Preach, preacher.
Doing these past 3 weeks. I'm throwing you a no look and you think it's coming up under the basket.
Thank you, Shelly. You can't do that. Out the room. That's what you
Hey,
and see, they trying to go back to how LeBron and them used to do, but see, LeBron might have took a day off, but they was at his house practicing that night.
Yeah, it is.
You see what I'm saying?
Hey, we was out bicycling together and everything.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Hey, come on, man. The Clippers, they had a team meeting at Magic City, man.
Go ahead.
Magic City, I heard they got a basketball court.
The only problem is, MB.
Come on, let's
the only problem is, MB, they only had one meeting at Magic City, and that's the problem. They need to have multiple meetings. LeBron would have had us there 5 days a week.
And that would have been the problem.
But listen. Okay, hey, Kelly, so I understand what you're saying, and I'm just saying, though, it's just not Kawhi Leonard's fault. They knew what they would get in Kawhi Leonard. They understand at this point in the age, he need to manage his minutes.
What?
And he at this point
29, 28. What is it?
Don't matter. Hey, listen. You think hold on. This dude don't want a championship.
So
you think he about to change? He ain't gonna change. It's proven. And they ain't gonna change.
Did he take all that time off in Toronto?
Yes.
MB.
He was on the same schedule. The proof
MB, stop, MB.
That's the format.
No. Stop, MB. MB.
Let me talk.
MB, don't let him off the hook like that. 29 years old, you manage your minutes?
Hardwood floor. Hey, but listen, but it's just
let me get off this now.
Hold on, Klew. Let me say this. It's just not Kawhi Leonard. It's Paul George been hurt. Patrick Beverly, who's right now on the sideline, he's been hurt. They had to deal with death. A couple of people.
Kawhi ain't playing back to backs, man. Kawhi take off when he want to.
Hey, championship, I could deal with it. But
he ain't heading that way.
But because the other guys have been out as well.
All I'm gonna say is, if the unicorn wasn't hurt, this thing would have been ugly. Because they were the first round knockout.
You know why, Klew? Because right now they Dallas right now play so much better together. I mean, they play as a team, and that's why. And that same thing happened to my Miami Heat when they played Dallas back in the day with Dirk. and all those guys, they had the more talent, but Dallas was a better team. And that's the thing what I was saying I was disappointed about, because I was thinking like, man, I thought Clippers would have better defense. On one leg, Luka was just going around. It didn't matter who was on him. He was
going. Remember the excuse I keep hearing by all the basketball pundits.
What?
Oh, they got the best 2 defensive guards in the league. Man, well, why don't they guard somebody then?
Bro,
that's what y'all do.
I didn't say Luka was on leg. It didn't matter who was on him.
Now imagine LeBron coming through the lane and Luka doing all that.
I was shocked. I was like, man, what they defense? Because Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, those probably arguably the two-way players in the NBA, and none of them could get it done on Luka. Luka was making them look like they was in quicksand. I mean, he looked like they was playing at ankle weights, man. And this guy was playing on one leg, and he was dominating. I was like, you got one guy do a boxing one on this dude, eliminate this guy, and he still was killing them. I was like, man, I was shocked. I was like, this is crazy.
At the end of the day, it just sounds like I got a bunch of Clipper apologists. So I'm gonna let y'all live. We're gonna get y'all out of that's why we put y'all in the stank small locker room at Staples Center. That's why we don't care nothing about y'all. Cause we knew what y'all was about. While all these other see y'all forget Lob City was supposed to do all this too. And I was laughing back then too. Man, they the Clippers. At the end of the day, you play for the LA Clippers, okay? End the story.
Hey, all right. Now speaking of end, man, we gotta end this show.
Great way to end.
Hey, but right now, I want to tell you about an upcoming show we got on Friday. We got my man Arthur Francis Kehoe, the People's Choice. Hey, offensive line, Klew, as we know, he was the offensive line coach at University of Miami. He was one of the pillars of the UN program, a hidden figure behind the
31 years.
31 years, man, produced some All-Americans, at least 7 All-Americans on offensive line. Man, I mean, this dude is, when you think about University of Miami, he's one of the pillars, all right? He's one of the guys behind the scene. People know him. He's the people choice, man. Offensive line attended, or as Klew know, we know playing football, that as a group, they're usually the one that's overworked and underappreciated.
Yeah.
Right?
Underpaid.
Not no more. Underappreciated. I wouldn't say underpaid.
Not no more.
Not in the league. No, they pay them now, but they overwork and underappreciated. And what I mean, they don't get a lot of recognition. They don't get to tap out and be like, "Well, I need a water break." They got to play the whole entire game in those games, man. Get it done. And this guy, Coach Kehoe, man, outstanding guy, man. Anybody that know this guy, he's funny. I mean, he's energetic. He's a great storyteller. And, man, you see it just like last week when we had with Coach Cyrus Jones, man, this guy is no different, man. This guy making impact on and off the field, man. And you're going to see. We got a gang of people, former offensive linemen that's going to join us. My man Leon Cersei, a.k.a. Godzilla. Brett Rumberg, man. Joaquin Gomez de Llama Gonzalez. That's my dude, man. We got some guys with Coach Tony Wise, who used to be the coach at University of Miami and Dallas Cowboys. He's coming on. Don Bailey, man. We got a slew of guys that's going to Dr. Clyde Jones, Sweet Nasty, Kelvin Harris. It's going to be we having an O-line meeting, all right, on Facebook and YouTube Live. So you don't want to miss it. This Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Hey, come see it. Come check us out, man. We're going to have a great time. These guys are unbelievers. Already getting crunk in the group chat. As Klew can tell you, these guys are hilarious, man.
I'll tell you what, Shelly. You talk about Sweet Lou lemon pepper barbecue wing. If these jokers had them, they really want the wings, though. They want the wings, though. Like, everything else will come last, but they gonna want the wings.
Yeah, they want to eat.
Eat some big old jokers too.
They want to eat, but check us out and don't forget to subscribe. All right, make sure you subscribe. All right, make sure you follow on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, man. You don't want to miss the notifications of having a great show, man.
Absolutely. Thank y'all for showing up, and we'll holler from sideline to baseline. MB and Klew. We are gone.